You ever just stop and think about how a seahorse even happens? Like, at what point did evolution look at the rough draft and go, yeah, let's ship it? Not the obvious part. Everyone notices the head, the angle, the way it moves like nothing else in the water moves like that. But here's the thing. If you actually watch one, and I mean really watch one, not just glance at it in an aquarium, you start to notice how still it is. Most fish, they're always adjusting. Little corrections, constant movement to stay in place. This one doesn't do that. It just grabs something and stops. The tail does this. Wraps around seagrass, coral, whatever's there, and once it's locked, it's locked. You could pull water past it, current, whatever. It doesn't let go unless it decides to. That's not normal for something this small. Most things this size get pushed around. They don't get a vote. But the tail's built like a coil. Tapered. Flexible enough to wrap tight, but strong enough that it doesn't slip. No bones in the usual sense. Just rings. Stacked segments that bend without breaking. So it holds. And while it's holding, it's hunting. Which sounds fine until you realize it has no stomach. No actual stomach. Just a straight intestinal tract. Food goes in, gets processed immediately, comes out. There's no storage. No waiting around for digestion to happen later. So it's basically running the most inefficient digestive system possible. Like trying to fuel a car by pouring gas directly into the engine while it's running. That means it has to eat constantly. Not like a lot at once, just constantly. All day. Small stuff. Tiny crustaceans. Plankton. Anything that drifts close enough. And this is where the head angle starts to make sense. Because it's not just sitting there looking decorative. That snout, it's a vacuum. When something small enough gets near, the mouth opens so fast it creates suction. The prey doesn't swim in, it gets pulled in. Happens in milliseconds. You wouldn't even catch it if you blinked. The strike itself, if you can even call it that, it's not about speed in the usual sense. It's about precision. The snout tip has to align perfectly. And the timing has to match the drift pattern of whatever's floating by. Because remember, this animal isn't chasing anything down. It can barely chase its own shadow. But here's the problem. To do that, you have to see the thing first. And seahorses don't have great vision range. The eyes move independently, sure. That helps. Each one scanning a different zone. Like a really inefficient security camera system. But they're small. The field is limited, so they can't chase. They don't have the body for it anyway. They wait. And they're good at waiting because they don't look like much. The body's covered in bony plates, not scales. Plates. Layered. And the texture on it's ridged, bumpy, uneven. In the right light, against the right background, you could look straight at one and not know it's there. That's not camouflage in the color sense. It's shape. It's texture. It's the way light doesn't hit it the way you'd expect. Some of them even grow little skin filaments, fleshy tags. They wave in the current like algae. Like nothing worth paying attention to. Basically cosplaying as a piece of drifting garbage. And when you're that slow, that matters. Because this animal does not move fast. At all. It's one of the slowest fish in the ocean. The dorsal fin does most of the work. Fluttering. Rapid little vibrations. Enough to push it forward, but barely. If there was an ocean speed limit, the seahorse wouldn't break it. The pectoral fins steer, adjust direction. That's it. No tail propulsion. The tail's busy holding on, so if it gets seen by something bigger, something faster, it doesn't run. It just tries not to be noticed in the first place. And somehow that worked well enough that it's still here. Now, reproduction. This is where it gets weird in a different way. The male carries the eggs, not the female. The female deposits them into a pouch on the male's abdomen, and he fertilizes them there, inside. Then he carries them. Weeks. Sometimes longer depending on water temperature. The pouch itself is not just a flap of skin. It's vascularized. Blood flows through it. Oxygen gets exchanged. Waste gets filtered out. It's closer to a womb than a pocket, and when they're ready, he doesn't lay them. He gives birth. Actual contractions. Muscular pumping. The pouch opens and dozens, sometimes hundreds, of fully formed miniature seahorses come out. It looks exactly as uncomfortable as it sounds. They're tiny, fragile. Most of them don't make it. But the ones that do, they're born knowing how to grab, how to hold on, how to stay still. That's not taught. That's just there, which makes sense when you think about it. Because if you're born into open water and you can't hold on, you're gone. Current takes you. Something eats you. You don't get a second try. So the tail works from day one. The plates are there too. Soft at first, but forming. The snout's already the right shape. The eyes already move independently. Everything that matters is already in place. Tiny. Slow. Awkward, but functional. And the thing is, this whole setup, the pouch, the male pregnancy, the live birth, it's rare. It's not common even among seahorses as a genus. Hippocampus kuda does it, but not every species does it the same way. Some are less committed. Some share the load differently. This one went all in. And it's not like it made them dominant. They're not apex anything. They're slow, small, vulnerable to temperature shifts, habitat loss, getting scooped up for traditional medicine, aquarium trade, whatever. They don't migrate when conditions get bad. They just hold on tighter. Hope the seagrass doesn't disappear. Hope the water doesn't warm past the point where the eggs can develop properly. A lot of things have to stay stable for this to keep working. But they're still around, still holding on in seagrass beds. Coral edges, mangroves, anywhere there's something to grab and enough food drifting by. Turns out slow and strange can outlast a lot of things that looked like better ideas.